All right, let's do some Mathity-Math. It says here, multiply and simplify the radical expressions. Okay, now, out the gate, you could multiply root 44 times root 112. And if you did that, you would get, let's see here, 44 times 12. Oh my gosh, let's try that again. 44 times 12. 528. Okay, that's really not a number most people are comfortable working with. And I do want to make this clear that you could just put this in a calculator and get your answer for the whole thing, but your teacher probably would give you no credit for that because all you're proving is you know how to push buttons in a machine. We actually want to see how your brain works and that you can understand the concepts behind these. So we are going to break them apart and show the process. So I am not going to do root 528. I'm actually going to go a different direction here. And what I'm going to say is, well, do I know any perfect squares that will go into 44? Well, let's see. 1 times 1 is 1. We never use that. 2 times 2 is 4. And 4 I do know goes into 44 because 4 times 11 is 44. So what I'm going to say here is I know that root 44 is the same as root 4 multiplied by root 11, okay, because those are the same thing. Now, we're going to do root 112. And so, at this point, you know, I will end up using my calculator. So maybe I should have used 528. We can debate that later. So the question is, well, what perfect square goes into 112 nicely? Okay, so 1 times 1 is 1. We don't use that. 2 times 2 is 4. So let's see, 112 divided by 4. 4 does work. Okay, so we would have 4 and 28. But I do have a feeling that there might be a little bit of a higher perfect square because inside of 28, I know that another 4 can go in. So if you think about that, you know that 28 is divisible by 4. So I could pull a 4 out of here. Well, what's 4 times 4? 16. So I'm going to go ahead and try 16. 112 divided by 16. Look at that, and that works. So in the factor pair I really want to use is 16 and 7, okay? Because 4 times 4 is 16. That is also a perfect square. So instead of 112 here, I'm actually going to write root 16 times root 7. Okay, so at this stage, we are really in the home stretch already. What is the square root of 4? The square root of 4 is 2. Right? The square root of 4 is 2 because 2 times 2 is 4. 2 times 2 is also the same thing as saying 2 squared. And 2 squared under a square root radical, well, that would cancel and you'd only be left with the 2. Root 11 stays just the way it is. The square root of 16 is 4. Let me come down here. Let me just show that. I do like to break this down so we can see it. Okay, the square root of 16 is the same as the square root of 4 times the square root of 4. The square root of 4 is the same as the square root of 4 squared. And because a square and a square root cancel, you only get left with that 4. That's why the square root of 16 is 4, okay? And then we have the square root of 7. Our last and very, very final step is to just multiply these together. When we multiply these together, whatever's outside of the radical multiplies together, and whatever's inside the radical multiplies together. So you can do this in your head. Well, what is 2 times 4? 8. Great. And what is 11 times 7? That is 77. And just like that, you've done it. You've multiplied and you've simplified those radical expressions. Good job. Okay, as always, please subscribe if you want to be notified when more amazing problems and descriptions are coming your way. And if you have any questions, any clarifications, anything you need from me, just leave a comment below and I'll do my best to get right to that. Thank you. Bye.